The Cleveland Browns are about to make a decision that could haunt them for the next decade.
Browns insider Jason Lloyd just sent a huge warning to Cleveland about Deshaun Watson. He says there's absolutely no upside in playing Watson over rookie Shedeur Sanders. According to Lloyd, even if Watson looks decent, what does that really accomplish for the Browns? He questioned whether the team would seriously consider giving Watson another extension, and made it clear that would be a terrible move. Lloyd says if the choice is between Watson and Shedeur Sanders, the answer is easy. He believes Sanders should get the opportunity, unless he looks completely unready to play. Browns fans, this quarterback debate is heating up fast. So, who should start for Cleveland this season, Watson or Shedeur? Let me know in the comments.
I've been hard on Shedeur, but I've been consistent on this since last season. If you're telling me I have to choose between Deshaun and Shedeur, there's no comparison. I'm playing Shedeur because I want to see. I don't think the odds are high, but the odds are higher than me giving Deshaun another contract because those are zero.
That's Jason Lloyd over there with Gary Bush and Zach Jackson on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, where they was talking about and having a conversation about what's the benefit of playing Deshaun Watson over Shedeur Sanders this year.
Jason Lloyd just said something that nobody in Cleveland expected to hear. A man who has been openly critical of Shedeur Sanders, who has questioned him, doubted him, pushed back on him, just looked the world in the eye and said he'd take Shedeur over Deshaun Watson, no hesitation. And when someone like Jason Lloyd flips, that's not an opinion anymore. That's a warning sign. Because the question isn't whether Watson deserves another chance. The question is, why is Cleveland still pretending this is even a real competition?
In a sense to me, it's like you want me to just discount of what I saw so far from Deshaun Watson since he's been in Cleveland. It's like you want the fan base, the people who's been watching Cleveland for the last 6 years with Deshaun Watson at quarterback, but you want them to say, hey, y'all didn't see that. All of a sudden, Todd Monken's gonna make him a better quarterback.
Let's be honest about something first. Deshaun Watson has been in Cleveland for 4 years. 4 years. And in that time, he's played 19 games. 19. 2 torn Achilles, a shoulder injury, an 11-game suspension, one losing record after another. And yet, somehow, the Browns are standing in front of cameras talking about a quarterback competition. A competition? Like the last 4 years never happened. Like the fans didn't watch every single painful moment. Like Cleveland didn't hand this man $230 million fully guaranteed and get almost nothing in return. But this is where everything changed. Jason Lloyd, one of the most respected voices covering the Cleveland Browns, went on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show with Gary Bull and Zach Jackson, and what he said stopped people cold. He said under no circumstances would he ever give Deshaun Watson another contract. Not a team-friendly deal, not a restructured deal, not anything. Zero chance. And then he went even further. He said if you forced him to choose right now, today, between starting Watson or starting Shedeur Sanders this season, it's not even close. He's playing Shedeur. Not because he thinks Shedeur Sanders is an elite quarterback right now. He was honest about that. He's been hard on Sanders. He admitted it openly. But here's what Jason Lloyd understood that the Browns front office seems to be ignoring. This isn't just about winning games in September. This is about the future of the entire franchise.
And I can only think of a couple that I actually thought he played good in. Like the numbers aren't nearly good enough in any stretch. We have way more bad than we have good, and it's just far outweighed.
But this really only happens in professional sports, this idea of clean slate. Because there is nowhere else on the planet that if you had failed the amount that Deshaun has failed to play good football and stay healthy here, there's no way that any human can just erase that last 5 years.
Think about what Cleveland quietly did this offseason. They upgraded the offensive line. They brought in better weapons. They drafted playmakers on the outside to give their quarterback real options. They built something. And now they want to hand those keys to a 30-year-old quarterback who hasn't played a full season since Houston, who hasn't looked like himself in years, who is walking into 2026 on a repaired Achilles with zero guarantees he'll even stay healthy? That's the plan? No one expected what came next. Jonathan Peterson over on 92.3 The Fan in Cleveland went even harder. He brought up the one game Watson fans always go back to, that Baltimore game, the one where Watson threw for 188 yards with a touchdown and an interception, and somehow people treated it like he just torched a defense for 400 yards. 188 yards, one touchdown, one interception, and Cleveland fans are supposed to build hope around that? Peterson said something that cut straight to the truth. In no other profession on earth do you get to erase 5 years of failure and call it a clean slate. 5 years. If you showed up to any job for 5 years and performed the way Watson performed in Cleveland, you don't get a fresh start. You don't get a motivational speech from the new head coach. You don't get first-team reps in minicamp while the young guy waits his turn. You're gone. But this is Cleveland, and somehow Watson is still here, still getting the benefit of the doubt, still being treated like the guy who balled out in Houston in 2020 is somehow still buried inside him, just waiting for the right offensive coordinator to unlock him again. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And here's what makes this situation even more frustrating when you look at the full picture. Shedeur Sanders stepped into the starting role last season as a rookie, a fifth-round pick, a kid who wasn't supposed to see the field until late in the year. He started 7 games, led Cleveland to 3 wins, showed flashes of exactly the kind of instinctive, playmaking quarterback that this offense has been desperate for. Was it perfect? No. Was it enough to prove he belongs? Absolutely. And new head coach Todd Monken has already gone on record saying Sanders has elite playmaking ability. Elite. That's the word he used. So let's put this together. You have a young quarterback on a rookie deal, 4 more years of cost-controlled football, a coach who believes in his ceiling, a supporting cast that just got significantly better around him, and you're still talking about giving the job to Deshaun Watson? That's when things took a shocking turn, because the longer this conversation goes on, the more it reveals something deeper about how the Browns organization operates. They drafted Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round, Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd, and then this year they added Taylon Green out of Arkansas in the 6th. That's 4 quarterbacks on the roster. 4. And they still can't commit to one direction, still can't look their fan base in the eye and say, "This is our guy. This is our future, and we're going all in." That's not a quarterback competition. That's dysfunction wearing a press release.
Also, I will say the clean slate narrative that continues to annoy me as more people repeat it.
That's Jonathan Peterson over there on 92.3 The Fan. You heard what he had to say about Deshaun Watson. The Cleveland Browns are acting like everybody's supposed to forget what Deshaun Watson looked like and give him the benefit of the doubt that he can play better this year than he done did in the past years. After you just drafted 2 quarterbacks a year ago with Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel.
The fans in Cleveland have watched this franchise cycle through pain for years. They've shown up, they've believed, they've defended players and coaches and front office decisions that didn't deserve defending. And right now, in this moment, they deserve an answer. Not a maybe, not a mini-camp update, not a clean slate narrative that nobody actually believes. They deserve the truth. And the truth is sitting right there in the film room, in the practice footage, in every snap Shedeur Sanders took last season when he was thrown into a situation most rookies never survive. He competed, he grew, he showed you something real. Deshaun Watson, and this is said with respect, has had every opportunity, every resource, every chance to show Cleveland what he's capable of, and the record speaks for itself. 9 wins in 4 seasons, 19 games played, $230 million spent. At some point, the organization has to stop protecting a financial decision and start making a football decision, because those 2 things are not the same. Shedeur Sanders is not perfect. Nobody is saying that. But he is young. He is hungry. He has a chip on his shoulder the size of this entire NFL draft conversation. He was doubted, dropped to the 5th round, told he wasn't ready, and then he went out and started winning games in the NFL as a rookie. That kind of fire doesn't come from comfort. It comes from being counted out. And right now, the Browns have a chance to do something rare, to stop chasing the past and start building something that actually lasts. Give Shedeur Sanders the keys, build around him, trust the process, let him grow into the quarterback this city desperately needs. Because the alternative, another season of hoping Watson stays healthy, hoping the new system unlocks something that 4 years couldn't find, hoping fans don't lose what little faith they have left, that's not a plan, that's a prayer. And Cleveland has been praying long enough. The time for debates is over. The time for mini-camp reports and insider takes and clean slate narratives, all of it is over. This is Shedeur Sanders' moment. And if the Browns are smart, if they really care about this city and this fan base and what comes next, they'll stop making him wait for what already belongs to him. Hit that subscribe button because this Browns quarterback story is just getting started and you do not want to miss what happens next.